Now this is a fucking breakfast sandwich. None of that weak ass croissant from Walmart. This disgusting piece of shit. This breakfast sandwich is the best sandwich you can get. And it got bacon. Better munch. Kind of burnt it on the side a little bit. Left it in too long, but better munch. Vinland Saga. Better finish this up. I'm on episode 12. I don't know how much left are, but with the power of editing, bam, just like that, I finished Vinland Saga, rewatched it, and I'm a better person. I rewatched this show when it first came out, or like 2 years after it came out, the first season. I was hooked onto it right away. I was curious about it. I never watched it at first because I was like, Vikings, I don't really know. And I was mostly focused on just pure action and killing, like all of that. That's what I thought this anime was gonna be about. I didn't really pay attention to the like real world problems or like the symbolic meaning of, you know, being a warrior, what like the purpose of what the main story is gonna go towards, of just like character development. I was strongly against season 1 when I first watched it. What I mean by against, I mean I wasn't really like paying attention to key details that when I rewatched it now, I was just like, I notice a lot of things differently. I don't know which season is better. I watched season 1 a week ago and I just finished season 2. I took a little break in between and I was debating about like, damn, season 1 might be better than season 2. I feel like me watching season 2, I was watching it weekly when it came out, and it was just like kind of annoying just seeing that I don't know what's going on. There's no action taking place, and I have to wait a week for just nothing to happen. But I'm glad I rewatched it because I've definitely see how fucking peak season 2 is, and I've been debating so hard if season 1 is better or season 2 is better, and I have no fucking clue. I can't decide. I think about it. I'm thinking about season 2 is just cinema, a beautiful like drama, I guess you can categorize. But then I look back in season 1 and it's just like season 1 is also peak. But then again, season 2 is just, I've cried, I've teared up in season 1 maybe 3 times, I would say. I teared up when Knut and Ragnar, when they were saying goodbye to each other. I teared up a little bit of that. Bjorn and Askeladd, that fight. When I first watched it, I didn't really get why they fought, but then I realized it was because a warrior dies in battle to go to Valhalla. And then of course Askeladd, the ending of that whole season 1 was so good. Askeladd is a top tier character. He was basically the main character of season 1. Transitioning to season 2, I don't know how I was attached to it so well. It was all just talking, basically not really focusing on a story. It was more of just Thorfinn's character development. I guess you can say that's the story. Characters coming together, that it all like wrapped around, it all made sense when it came to the conclusion. Season 2, I did cry. I think season 2 made me cry more than season 1. But does that make that better? I might have to give the edge to season 2 just because Mappa keeps doing a great job. And of course it was more later than season 1. I'm just so addicted to visuals. Mappa added so much details. It was just a beautiful piece of art. I feel like a lot of shows want to interpret as, and Vinland Saga season 2 did exactly that. Like the music, all they did was fucking just play the piano, and it was like the most beautiful thing. They just made it a beautiful piece of art, and I gotta give it to season 2. I consider this as like a masterpiece. I don't know how they can top that. As you may know, I've read manga, I've read Chainsaw Man. I'm not really caught up on the second part of the whole thing. Jujutsu Kaisen, yeah, that's about it. But not Vinland Saga. I'm not gonna read Vinland Saga because I heard that the manga did some things differently than the anime, and the anime added its own things, and like if I can just witness Mappa create another season that is just beautiful, I'm excited for season 3. The thing is, I don't know if it's gonna reach its expectations. Maybe it will. Again, I haven't read the manga. So what I'm gonna do is like what I did with my rewatching Attack on Titan video. I'm do the same shit with Vinland Saga, but the characters. This one has a lot of characters that they didn't really show. Like these kids, I don't really know. The little ass king, knockoff Thorfinn. They're not really like, I wouldn't say they're like important characters you can base off. But let's just get this over with. Thorfinn, by far, he is the best character of the show. The character development and what I expect from him to more is just more peak. I know he's just gonna be a better character in season 3. Yeah, he's just the best character. Askeladd, I'll put him behind Thorfinn. I was debating about putting Canute second, but I don't really know. Canute is also one of my favorite characters in the show. My first time watching the show, I fucking hated Canute for some reason. I just thought this guy was a puss. Seeing the character development, not even the character development, rewatching season 1, I still liked the dude. And then whole season 2, how like both of them followed Thorfinn and Canute follow their dad's footsteps. I just think it's beautifully how they beautifully did it. I'm gonna give Arnheid an A tier. I don't think she's S tier. I'll put her A tier. Again, I got attached to these characters very easily when I rewatched this. See, when I first rewatched it, I was not attached. I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, Arnheid, A tier. I love her story. That fucking depressing ass scene. How when she passed was okay. Floki, they don't really show him season 2 that much. Season 1, all you see him is just being a little douchebag. I'm gonna put him at D. I hate him. I feel like he is gonna be the villain, or like I think they're gonna show more of him in season 3. I feel like there's something missing that they're gonna add, and it's gonna involve Floki. Snake, I fucking love Snake. I'm gonna be dead ass. I'll put him A tier. Right off the back, he helped Thorfinn when he was fucking getting sliced up. You can tell he was a good guy. He was a badass. Like the whole fight with Thorfinn, this shit was fucking clean. And he understood what Thorfinn was going through, what war was really about, and that he didn't fuck with it. I really liked him. He's one of the most underrated characters in this show. Olmar, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and put him A tier because it was obvious you were gonna like Olmar in the end. It started off as him being arrogant, a spoiled, arrogant person, but at the same time he was lost and he was just a kid and he wanted to just get away from war, what his brothers were doing. So I respect it. His character development is just as perfect as Thorfinn's. Thor's, I'm giving him S tier. I'm giving Thor's S tier just because his purpose in the show. Ultimately, he's just a fucking boss. Every time they show the scene of him walking in the distance in Vinland, I'm just like, what the fuck? Always makes me like emotional. He created what Thorfinn needed to be, and he finally understood it. So Einar, I'm gonna give Einar A tier. At first, he was kind of annoying, but he really understood Thorfinn. His idea of realizing his purpose of farming, Thorfinn's past of a warrior, those connecting and contrasting. It's just really cool how they did it with Einar. Who would have thought I was gonna be interested in farming and growing fucking wheat? Fuck Kettle. He's a fraud, and ultimately, I want him to die. Killed Arnheid. That scene was just annoying. Gardar, damn, but he's a lot of good ass characters. I'm gonna give Gardar S tier. Like knowing him for like 4 to 5 episodes, his character is. It just made me hurt. At first, I didn't like him because I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" Seeing him reunite with his kid, looking at
the garden is our family's happy place, and having a car that allows us to do what we love and helps us is such a wonderful thing.
The fuck?
These are memories.
That scared the shit out of me. What the fuck? What I was saying, Gardar, he didn't want to leave his family. The whole scene of him realizing He shouldn't have left his family. Made me depressed. It honestly made me depressed. Thorko, I say he's a B. They didn't really show him much season 2. Season 1, he was just a fucking menace. Yeah, that's basically it, dude. Okay, Thorko, I'm gonna be honest. I actually liked his character. He wanted to back his family up, his farm. I respect his character, and I actually did like his character when he was fucking killing everyone, trying to go for the king. I was low-key kind of cheering for him. The old man, Spherical, however you pronounce his name. I'm gonna give this motherfucker A tier. He understood Thorfinn and Einar and his grandson, Leif Erikson. I gotta give this man S tier. This man has been searching for Thorfinn for all of his life. He's on his last legs. Utmost respect to him, and he's a real one. He did it for Thor's. He wanted to repay him for just giving his life for all of his crew. Bjorn, I'm gonna give Bjorn A tier. I did fuck with his character. They didn't really show much of him. It's just like his death was kind of sad. You could tell that he had a good side, he wasn't just a fucking prick. Yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna rate the rest of these. I rewatched the show, and it made me feel so much better about just life and how a person can really change no matter what they've been through, and it's okay to change. Season 2 really made me question about life. It showed me like disgust and how people were treated. Like these were how slaves were treated, and it's just horrible to see just death and how mindlessly people will go to just kill someone. That's why Thorfinn is the GOAT. Did talk no jutsu without doing talk no jutsu, and convinced fucking Canute to not raid any other farms anymore. Let me know what y'all think, if season 1 was better, season 2. It's really neck and neck for me. I had to rewatch them. I'm gonna give the edge to season 2 just because it's just so beautiful. I never really cared for action. They showed enough action, really. Let me know what y'all think. Season 1 or season 2? Like and subscribe.